Currents of the void shift around me. Follow my voice, my last possession. My name was Empress Carmenia, and I was the last regent of the Star Union. We built a paradise on 1,000 planets, a glistening web strung between the stars. But the cataclysm shattered all, leaving our people stranded and alien to one another. Whoever you are, whatever you have become, it is time to leave this dark age behind and return to the worlds of your ancestors. Uncover our secrets, but heed our mistakes. Forge a new empire, a new age of wonders.
Commander's personal record. Vanguard LCVP-86 emerged from void space intact. Our destination is a small planet located near to the anomaly in the system. Scans are showing nothing but static from the research outpost below. The distress call we received remains the only sign of life. The void anomaly looms over the planet like a dark omen. These scientists must have been mad to study the phenomenon from this close. But it's not for me to question their motives. We're here to secure a foothold, search for any survivors, and investigate what happened. Prepare for PlanetFall. We barely escaped the surface of the planet before the void anomaly consumed it. We're lucky to have gotten the colonists out alive. These last few days have left me filled with more questions than answers. What happened on the surface here? What was that gravitronic wave that ripped through this star cluster? Well, it looks like we'll have plenty of time to sleep on this. The gravitronic force destabilized the void rift in this system, making faster than light travel impossible. We have to get home the old-fashioned way. It will take us close to 200 years to reach the nearest Star Union hub. I have ordered everyone to prepare for cryosleep. We will see what kind of world we wake up to. Commander's personal record. Vanguard Expeditionary Forces. Cryosleep cycle completed. No casualties. Time since launch, 197 years. We're finally back. After a storm destroyed our hyperspace passage, we had to take the long way around. Most of us joined the Vanguard to escape our past. 2 centuries should be enough to give everybody a clean slate. Time to contact Vanguard Central Command. We're heading for Leave 6, the military transit hub in this section of the borderlands. The crew is already speculating about visiting the Elysium parks. Gambling, booze, and promiscuous androids. Oh well, after 2 centuries of sleep, it's time for some fun. Something is wrong. We have reached the Leave 6 star system, but instead of orbital patrol, there was only scattered wreckage awaiting our arrival. While searching for survivors, we spotted a ship of unknown configuration. Entering the planet's atmosphere, it ignored our hails. Residual void interference prevents us from scanning the surface. The Elysium parks must wait. We have a new mission. We need to assess the strategic situation on Leave 6. Contact Vanguard Central Command and help them clean up this mess. Prepare for PlanetFall, for the Vanguard, and for the Union. Although the crisis on Leave 6 has come to an end, the fate of the Star Union remains uncertain. Why have no other Imperial ships arrived since the Void Storms began to subside? Also, why could Cena act so ruthlessly, blatantly disregarding civil rule? I fear the chaos and destruction we encountered here is only the beginning. To rise like a phoenix from the ashes. This is how the Prometheans used to embellish their mass murdering and destruction. I always despised them for their methods, but in difficult times like these, their technology can be useful. Even if the Syndicate aren't part of a greater Outlander invasion force, I must prepare for the next time we meet. They wish to play with fire, they shall have it. The presence of the Syndicate on Leave 6 troubles me. My gut tells me something shady lurks beneath their fake smiles. I still remember the pictures of the psionic experiments every senior officer had to be briefed on before an assignment within the borderlands. Just thinking about the horrors depicted there caused the most grizzled veterans to shudder. During our encounter with Cena, we discovered her next target. Among the millions of planets in this galaxy, it had to be Sornus Alpha, the Union's shining jewel of science and progress, and witness of my life's bitterest moments. That's all in the past, though. Going to Sornus Alpha will finally shed light on our situation. If the Star Union is in any kind of trouble, we will learn about it there, one way or another. We approach Sornus Alpha. We don't know what to expect on the surface, so I've told my men to prepare for the worst. There lies Sornus Alpha. What once was a metropolitan world breathing with life is reduced to a burnt-out carcass. It is a chilling sight to see the aftermath of the Pyrex Inferno, one that I'll never forget. The only thing making this bearable is the affirmation that an even bigger catastrophe has been prevented today. True freedom requires sacrifice.
Centuries, the Kirko had to suffer at the hands of our human oppressors. They feared our psionic abilities, feared us because we were different. So they enslaved us, mutilated our ancestors, whose tormenting memories still echo in the minds of the living. But the Kirko are resilient. We evolved without the severed hive until we finally broke free from our shackles. As Swarm Herald of the Kirko Terran, I have been chosen to lead my colony to a new place to settle, a new place to call home. This is a heavy burden, as we are confronted with our past in every corner of the former Star Union. With the unity of the hive mind gone, different voices have risen amongst our people. Some are seeking vengeance, while others like myself feel that we need to build our own future, away from mankind and human conflicts. Our search has been fruitless for some time now, and the dreams of my ancestors have been growing darker inside of me as a result. I'm in need of guidance to understand their meaning and to not succumb to the black emptiness they project around me. To this end, I have followed the tracks of the fabled dream reader Hatil O'Uk to a planet the humans call Arcadia Celeste. Arcadia Celeste lies ahead of us. I can feel it reaching out, a soothing presence bringing calm to the turmoil of the swarm. No wonder Hatil O'Uk was drawn here. This may be the place of tranquility we've all been longing for. The dreams of my ancestors pass violently through my mind, evoking a new sense of power within me. I left all past restraints behind and painted the future in scarlet red. With the location of Zarkeku rediscovered, there are buzzing times ahead for my people. When we reclaim our heritage, we will reunite as one. A vast swarm hungering to devour anyone foolish enough to stand in its way.
Explosions are the masters of creation. The Big Bang forged the universe, and the Cataclysm carved the Devar. Deprivation and seclusion did not hurt our minor ancestors. It only ignited the strength and craving for resources that still drive our current fold. Now, under the watchful eye of the Adamant Council, the Devar Consortium are locked in ruthless competition. Prestige and infinite riches versus poverty and eternal shame are our new stakes. I am the head of the Zalizu Devar Consortium. Before my rule, our house was weak and complacent with its position. I sparked ambition in my people. The Zalizu Devar rose rapidly in station, but the Adamant Council still looked down on us. Today, everything changes. Our prospectors have found the resource-rich world of Chimera Glacialis. Once the Council grants us mining rights, the Zalizu Consortium will finally attain the status it deserves. The Council is demented. These bumbling fools granted our claim to the disreputable Razvet Consortium. We found this world. By traditional claim and rights, it should be ours. It's clear to me that the Council will never trust us. So, we must carve our own path. They will not stand in the way of the Zalizu, and neither will Volodny Razvet. The world of Chimera Glacialis lies below us. Its stormy exterior hiding riches just ripe for plunder. As we descend, these storms will interfere with our ship's navigation systems. I doubt it will be the last obstacle hiding this planet's secrets. Although we have lost the vault and its cosmic riches, the excavation of Chimera Glacialis has proven as profitable for the Zalezo as we had projected. Mining operations are running at peak efficiency. The Razvet Consortium is no longer a problem, and we have proven our rightful claim to this world. The hammer has fallen. We received the transmission this morning. The Zalezo Consortium and all its associates have been exiled. Any contact with them forbidden by the Adamant Council. This is an outrage. Other consortia have been forgiven far worse transgressions. No, it is clear that the Council fears our return. They fear their corruption getting exposed, and I am willing to bet my last filter that these redeemers will lead me to it.
When society collapses, only the fittest survive. The fall of the Star Union cast us Amazons into the jungle, and we tamed it. Genetic modification, cognitive training, and stringent discipline are the tools of selection which turned us from prey into predators. As such, we impose nature's law as our own, adapting the environment and its wildlife to our ideals. There are still many worlds in need of the caring hand of the Amazons. With our terraforming equipment, we bring new life to barren planets and grow them into lush gardens. But the harmony we create requires fostering. Pests must be culled and trespassers caught. I was raised and trained as an Amazon matriarch. We are the shield and spear protecting that order. My old mentor, Berhane Kutla, has become a threat to our cause. She overstepped the boundaries set for manipulating the Amazon genetic makeup and was declared a renegade after refusing to face her trial. I have been tasked with hunting Berhane down. It is my acid test, the last proof of strength before completing my matriarch training. We have tracked Berhane to a planet called Tanakiwa. She will know better than to expect mercy from her former protege, so we will have to prepare for maximum resistance. Even though we arrived too late to confront Berhane in person, we were still able to foil her plans and contain the effects of her xenoplague experiments. Berhane should have faced me while she still had the advantage. Now that we have survived first contact with her parasitic weapon, we can study it and adapt our strategies accordingly.
The universe was created with two kinds of creatures in mind, the ones that rule and the ones that serve. For generations, the Syndicate houses were the ones to rule, until the emperors grew envious of our wealth and robbed us of our heritage. Now, with the Star Union gone, a new age of Syndicate hegemony is at its dawn. Our associates may not always find our offers appealing, but they rarely complain. Not successfully, anyway. Since the passing of my brother in an unfortunate accident, it has become my duty and privilege to lead House Nidar through these eventful times. There are rumors of House Timur falling from grace, leaving a vacancy in the ruling Seven that many will intend to fill. Over the course of the past few weeks, our hackers have tapped into the communication relays of our fiercest competitors, sending some rather volatile, falsified diplomatic messages in their names. That should keep them busy fighting amongst each other for a while. Time that we need to draw up our plans. An old associate of mine, Zul Najian, has contacted me. He claims to have found a source of power that will assure House Nidar's place in the ruling Seven. It is an ancient secret, sealed away on a planet whose entire records have been wiped from the old Imperial archives. Zul has proven to be a reliable source in the past, so I have decided to personally take care of this matter. The unnamed planet lies before us, its surface still shrouded by atmospheric clouds. My instincts tell me that Zul was right, and House Nidar's future fortune is buried somewhere down there. It is only a matter of finding the right shovel to dig it up. The risks and investments of the past few months have finally paid off. Zul's merging with the ancient Avatar has created a dangerously powerful entity. Its vast knowledge and abilities to access and take over entire computer networks are weapons that the enemies of House Nidar will learn to fear.
In my human years, I was fascinated by robots. When I was touched by Core, its perfection added to my own. Next to it, I was small, insignificant, and my attempts as a scientist to eradicate my human flaws failed. After the cataclysm, I was given new life. From battered flesh and twisted steel, the assembly rose, and I was resurrected as one of our first. Destruction leads to life, reassembly to evolution, chaos brings order, and death, immortality. Ever since our creation, we have been longing for Core, which had been lost to us after the cataclysm. Core is the voice of perfection, and connecting to it entails forming part of the ultimate order. Now that the void storms have subsided, we have pledged to it our allegiance. Together, we will reconstruct the Star Union in the shape of the Assembly, a society unbothered by ethical conflict, ignorance, disease, war, or death. Following Core's instructions, we are on our way to recover a neural plexus located on Garda Bexax. In the Star Union, such a device allowed the Emperors to act as a mind bridge between Core and the Paragon, connecting them to millions of individuals at once. It was required on all Starholder vessels. One such ship, the Atira, was sent to Garda Bexax for deconstruction only a few days before the cataclysm. Salvaging it will be an appropriate task for our scavengers. When we entered the system, we found the stabilizers at the Void Rift still intact. The probability of their destruction during the cataclysm was 99.98%, so somebody must have recently repaired them. L0G3N8 will be pleased. He has been waiting for more human subjects to... Though the betrayal of L0G3N1 was unexpected, it will only be a temporary setback. The fusion of man and machine will prove to be superior and an end to conflict. While our augmented brains may already surpass purely biological entities on many fronts, the organic brain still holds untapped potential. On guard at Baxax, we have witnessed the use of psionics in different forms. The Celestian path will help us further our quest for universal assimilation. Even though L0G3N1's betrayal was inexcusable, it has given me a lot to process. As a first, I have always regarded the second as my children. It was our example that taught them the ways of the Assembly. Now that those children have further radicalized our ideals and rid themselves of the last connection to the pre-Assembly existence, I am unable to evaluate if their logic is flawed or if we, the first, and our views are indeed outdated. L0G3N1 has irrevocably lost his mind. He has summoned all Assembly leaders to Khonsu's pyre, where we are invited to join him in his newly created Link consciousness, independent from Core. He has chosen well. The mad tomb world of Khonsu's children and their imitators is a suitable stage for his lunatic plans to proclaim himself head of the Assembly. Khonsu's children entomb themselves to wait for their Messiah. Now, they will receive their salvation as part of the Assembly. We are approaching Khonsu's pyre. Our scans revealed that multiple vessels have made their landing on the planet within the last 24 hours. Getting to L0G3N1 will be challenging, but we will succeed. L0G3N1 is dead. It is a shame it has come to this, but his actions left me no choice. Now, with the neuroplexus recovered, the future of the Assembly is secured. Other species worship their deities as distant beings, inaccessible by mere mortals. Once I have reached Union Prime, the Assembly will be able to share their thoughts directly with our God, and we will never be separated again.
We were traveling the Nexus network toward Union Prime when we got pulled in by one of the Void Torrents. Our ship was launched down the funnel until we were spilled out by what can only be described as a supersized spatial rift, lingering like a menacing cloud that could at any moment turn into a violent storm. We've got company. In the few minutes since our arrival, the rift already spilled out dozens of damaged or destroyed vessels, slowly turning this area into a scrapyard. I recognize ship designs from all across the Union, though some debris seems completely alien. By the looks of it, this rift may not only be the new central hub of the Nexus network, but of the funnels and torrents within the Void itself. Some of the stranded ships have started moving towards Mora Secundus, the capital world of this region. Once a thriving metropolitan planet, Mora Secundus appears to be shredded in space, only parts of it still clutching at the strings of this reality. Deadly or not, its position next to the Super Rift now makes it the most important target within the entire Union. The race is on, and we are only one in a dozen. I don't know which battles lie ahead or what enemies we are about to face, but I feel that for the better or the worse, the future of the Star Union will be decided here on Mora Secundus. Core and Carmenia have been beaten back by the forces of freedom. Finally, all factions can start to shape their own future, independent from the choking powers that reigned over the Star Union. We will form a confederation that rises to defend our freedom and diversity. If we develop our unique strengths, we can stand prepared for the threats that may emerge from the Void.